It's the broadly entertaining podcast for all you fem broads, them broads, and dude broads out there.
We've got fun, games, and feminism coming at you. Thanks for letting us entertain you. Let's party!
Hello, friends. I am Jonna, and I should probably pay a little more attention to the news.
I am Jamie, and this may be controversial, but I think people should have access to clean water.
We have so much on our plate today, so many fabulous things to talk about, including the wonderfully kind and funny Alice Chan joining us. So, can we just dive right into this?
Let's dive!
Huzzah! Gold star response for you.
Thanks, I love a gold star.
I know you do. You got gold star written all over you.
Oh.
Okay, so diving in and keeping that energy up, we're going to kick it off by sharing a recent purchase or a find or perhaps an experience that we are really excited about. And I know that you, Jamie, are very eager to share yours. So why don't you go first?
Yes, thank you. I am very eager. I don't know if I have been able to hide the fact that I am standing on a mini trampoline. I recently got a mini trampoline, and these are the handles of it, like an exercise bike elliptical combo, and I got them both for under $26 combined because
What?
somebody that I briefly worked with at a bar that I no longer work with, a whole different story, but she told me about this website called estatesales.net, which is a really cool secondhand shopping option where you can help clear out the homes of loved ones that have shuffled off their mortal coil but left a lot of stuff behind because we all leave a lot of stuff behind. So I got a mini trampoline and an exercise bike for $26.
I That's amazing. That's amazing that you were able to get. I'm still in awe that you were able to get both of those things for under $26 when one of those things should be at least double that.
It is. I was looking at mini trampolines new, and the cost is at least double that. And I forgot to mention, not only did I purchase these things for such a deal, I was able to move them from point A to point B by myself in my little car with no help. And you know how much I don't like to ask for help.
That's true. You're also, manual labor is hard in the sweaty months
Mm.
and
Mm.
picking up and
Mm-hmm.
carrying things. So good for you, buddy. You did it. And you got a
Yes.
great deal. And I can't wait to visit that because secondhand is the only way to go. Come on. We
Yeah,
have
hell
enough
yeah.
clothes, we have enough things in the world. We don't need new shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Preach.
Amen.
So, what are you excited about? A purchase, a find, an experience, a plan?
Well, I mine is a little more on the nose for the Broadly Entertaining
Okay.
podcast, and that is a certain week in October where we are celebrating a lot of really cool things. Uh, First of which, it's Broadly Entertaining's 5-year anniversary coming up. So we're going to have a party up here in the Catskills. We have a Women Mean Business event coming up here in the Catskills. And most importantly, Jamie is coming to visit home to New York State that week to celebrate her 40th birthday party. So that week is going to be really jam packed with a lot of fun and love and laughter and look at this basic white bitch talking about live laughing and loving. But I'm excited to see you, and I'm excited to celebrate you, and I'm excited to celebrate our company.
Me too. All of those things. I've got my flight booked. I just have to rent a car. I am so excited to spend some nights on the lake in your cabin. I know it's going to be getting into the chilly time of year,
Mhm.
but that's okay. We're going to have a campfires and maybe make some s'mores.
Yes.
And this has been so fun to plan.
Yes. I like planning parties when it is our parties. We plan a lot of other people's parties, which is really great. But
Hmm.
I'll be honest with you guys, I've been in a little bit of a creative drought, and this has been a fun way to sort of kind of pull me out of it a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, we do love planning for other people, but it helps to be able to have our own things to kind of
Yeah,
keep those juices bubbling and keep the new ideas coming in.
that's right. We're not
Yeah.
as scared to try out new stuff on our own business with our own brand
Right.
as opposed to like your party. Like, we like to take our risks on ourselves.
Yeah. Amen. Amazing. Yes, I love that. So good to shout out things that we're excited and happy about. And, we're not big live, laugh lovers, but sometimes you got to live, laugh, and love, you know?
Yeah, we do. Sometimes you do. But speaking of looking forward to stuff, we have a superb guest waiting in the wings that I am really eager to bring on because this has been a couple of months in the making, and I'm just really excited for this.
Yes, yes, I am super excited that this is happening. We've got so much more to dive into.
Oh, dive callback. There it is.
Yeah, working on my improv skills so that I can stay sharp and keep up with Alice Chan, one of our absolutely favorite stand up comedians. Did you know, Jana, that her Instagram account, MomComNYC, was
Mhm.
featured by Vogue as one of the top 6 funniest accounts on parenting?
That is a hardcore cred. Oh my God. And it does not surprise me a single bit.
Hmm.
Among her very impressive credits, she has performed with the New York Comedy Festival. She's a regular contributor to Scary Mommy, which, if you haven't checked out, you should, and produces shows on top of that. And as producers, we can tell you that's a lot of fucking work to do.
Yes, absolutely. Alice is a comedy phenom for sure. Our friends in the New York area can see her live. I'm so jealous. Can see her live at Don't Tell Mama on October 19th and on November 3rd as part of the 11th annual Laughter and Lullabies Gala, benefiting the Precious Dreams Foundation at the Glass House in Chelsea.
uh, but our friends everywhere can meet her right now. Let's welcome Alice Chan to the Broadly Entertaining Podcast.
Oh my gosh, is that my cue?
That's your cue.
Gosh, I was like, wow, this is a
Perfect.
really long introduction. And thank you for listing all these amazing credits.
Are you kidding? How could we not list your amazing credits? You're an amazing person with a lot of amazing things going on.
Yeah, we'll shout
Oh,
you out anytime we can.
Absolutely.
love the girls. Thanks for having me.
We
Yeah.
are so happy to have you. You know Broadly Entertaining is a fan, is an Alice Chan fan.
Yeah, it's
I'm also,
true. And we have been lucky enough to have you perform at a couple of our events in the past. So we know you as a comic and through what you share on your social media. But we kind of want to dig in a little deeper and get to know you a little bit more.
ooh, okay. Ask me anything you want.
Oh, all right. Well, first up, you have all this amazing mommy content and all of it is funny. And I know that you are really good at connecting with parents and making them laugh. But I'm kind of curious about your upbringing a little bit. And maybe I was inspired to ask you this question off of a somewhat recent post that you did. But what are the pieces of your childhood that you are making sure get passed down to your boys? And maybe on the other side of that, the things of your childhood that you would like to keep in your childhood, perhaps, and not bring in to your kids.
I love that question so much. And I hope my kids listen to this podcast once we're done.
Me too.
Um, I I had to go through a phase of being bullied a lot, and then a period of where people judged me by how I looked. Like people called me ugly, skinny, scrawny. They called me too dark because I tanned really easily, and
You
or
tanned really beautifully.
thank you. And so it was a really rough patch for me, and I felt like, hey, obviously I can't rely on my looks. So I had to work on my personality, which meant like, okay, what do I do now? And I remember as a 10-year-old, my teacher called me a mute, and I didn't know what that was. English was my second language, and I thought it was a good thing. And then I looked it up. It was someone who didn't speak. And I was I was shocked. And she said, yes, because you're a mute and you don't speak, you're going to be in a separate class from your friends. I had two friends, two really good friends, and going to the next fall, I was separated from them, and I was in a new class with a whole bunch of new kids. And then I said, okay, quick, I have to do something about it. So I found this book called How to Be Funny, a guide to making friends. A to Z. It's an A to Z guide on how to make friends. I'm like, this is so convenient. So I bought it. It was one of those like school orders. So it came to the classroom. My teacher had it, and I ran, grabbed it, went home, and I read from that first page. It says acne. Do you have acne? Because if you do, you better get rid of them. No one likes kids with pimples. Yeah.
Oh,
This was written in the 1979-ish, 80s, not to
Oh my
age
God.
myself. So then I'm like, okay, I don't have acne. Page B, C, and D. I forgot what B, C, D, E stood for, but
Good, because it's
because
probably
A was so
garbage. Yeah.
traumatizing.
I was probably crying, ripping the pages out and like trying to dry out my tears. And then it got to F, and it goes, funny. Are you funny? Because people love to laugh. And if you're funny, you can make friends. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to be funny. So I told my aunt this, and my aunt, she was like a teenager, and she goes, I have the perfect book for you. And she gave me this book called 101 Dirty Jokes. And she said, you better rehearse it. And so I memorized like maybe 5, 6 jokes that one night. And the next day, I asked the class before recess started. I was like, "Hey, who want to hear dirty jokes? I got some dirty jokes here." And all the boys were like, "We do." So the girls went and got their time at recess, and the boys all sat down on the carpet. I'm like on the table, like I put myself on a pedestal, and I start telling these jokes, and they were all laughing. I'm like, "Hey, this feels really good." And then the teacher figured it out. That was using her classroom as a comedy club. So she took that down. And then I was like, okay, now what do I do? And then I start doing impersonations. Like I would find like ridiculous characters, like Richard Simmons was one of my favorites because he was doing aerobic videos. You love him too,
I
right?
love big fan
The
of Richard
energy.
Simmons.
Sweating to the oldies.
Oh my God, come on, guys. Like so
Oh my God. I
positive.
loved him. I
Yeah.
really did. He also inspired me in some ways.
So inspirational. Like, oh, why would you not want to sweat with him, right? So I started doing impersonations, and I think that's what fed me. I felt validated through the laughter, and I kept doing it, even though I was a really shy, awkward kid. Um, but that's what I found. I found that humor was kind of like where I could hide behind, and I hid behind it, and I was still very insecure. I would like to leave all the bullying bullshit out from my kids. And I know I can't protect them from that, but I would love for them to be confident, to be weird, and be unapologetically weird and be okay with that. And I remember when as a kid, people would call me weird and I would be hurt by that word.
Mm.
And people still call me that. I had a 10-year-old called me that. I was doing a comedy show on Zoom for fourth graders. And this guy's like, why are you so weird? And I was like, Alice, it took me back to my 10-year-old Alice.
Trigger, trigger. Oh my
Okay,
God.
make this funny. This is a bunch of fourth graders. Don't call anyone an asshole. And then I was
Right.
like, thank you for calling me weird. That means I'm so special and I'm not just like any normal person. And so and then I asked, I took a poll. I said, who else likes to be called weird? Who has been called weird? And all these kids were raising their hands up. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change that perception of weird. I think
Yeah.
weird is awesome, unique, and special. So I've been telling my kids that no, weird is good. And so now my kids are like, am I weird? I'm like, not as weird as me. And they'll be like,
Oh, that's
I love that.
that's
I'm like crying over here.
I mean that I I'm also a little bit lost for words because I think that both obviously we have very different experiences on how we grew up, and I am so sorry for that piece of shit teacher, and I'm so sorry
Mm.
for piece of shit kids being pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I'm in a way thankful for all those pieces of shit because you have a gift that was clearly given to you during this time, and maybe you were hiding behind humor, but perhaps it was more of a shield than something that you're hiding behind. It was like a weapon and a shield that you were able to use, to combat these pieces of shit.
I just got goosebumps. I felt like I was a knight fighting
Yeah.
rather than hiding behind that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. It's a that's how it sounds to me as a person just hearing this story for the first time.
Mhm.
Um and I love that that's what you want for your kids too. Like, the weirdness is great, and I love that you want that for your kids. You have two boys, right?
I have two boys, and they love me being weird, and but the older one is a little more conservative, uh, similar to my husband. My husband's very like always, really well presented and well spoken, and doesn't like to look too silly. And he's like, "You're weirder than Daddy. Yeah, sometimes you embarrass me, but my Daddy never embarrasses me." I'm like, "That's because I'm weird, and I won't stop."
You got to have a balance, my friend. You got to have a balance.
Mhm. You got to be embarrassed by at least one of your parents
Gosh,
in
if
your
not
in your
both, one of
youth.
them has to do the job. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to be like assholes.
Dad will get his turn. Don't worry. He'll get his turn. He'll be embarrassing to them. I'm sure of it.
Me too.
Are your kids, do you see them sort of leaning into their weirdness and maybe taking it to showbiz like you did and following in your way? Or is any of that even seen yet with them?
I don't think they're gonna be doing showbiz. I'm a total late bloomer. I didn't think I was gonna be I don't even really consider this showbiz because I'm really just doing comedy. And I'm like in Hollywood doing movies. But because I feel like it's so therapeutic. I love just performing, but it's the connection to the audience that I really crave. When I don't perform live, I get restless. Uh,
Mm,
I don't know if they have a performing bug in them. Maybe we'll see. Like if they do, I would just embrace it and have them do it. I do encourage that, but I feel like they're a little shy right now. Maybe
mm-hmm.
maybe later in life, maybe they'll find their voice, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all take our paths to it. Like I grew up knowing I was a very hammy and my dad was in theater, and so we knew that I was going to be in the biz in some
Yeah.
sort of way. And Jamie, you were involved in theater stuff and creative work really young too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I was very ambitious when I was about 5, and then it sort of just went
Just gonna
downhill as I got older. But yeah.
That's very early to start knowing like what you want to do, right?
Mhm.
At 5, it's just not being shy and
Yeah, well, Jonna and I are both the youngest of 3 children, and I think that
oh,
probably fed to a certain degree both of our like, "Look at me, look at me."
yes, yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So watch out for that youngest.
Yeah. I have a younger sister who's just like you guys.
Mhm.
Look
Mhm.
at me, very successful, very daring, very brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, likes to take
Yeah.
risks.
A knight as well. It runs in the family, I
Yeah,
see.
youngest.
Well, so you took your path here. We kind of knew at least a little bit and had parents that can see it in us and knew as well. But we took our own paths to get where we are today. And I think and I apologize if I'm wrong, but you came from a marketing professional standpoint, right? Before you got into showbiz, or did it happen at the same time?
I'm not going to include my experience as a 10-year-old doing impersonations and talking, saying dirty jokes. Um,
It counts.
Yeah, it counts.
but my parents always wanted me to be, in business. Like, traditional parents, they wanted me to be a doctor, lawyer, or their son.
Mhm.
And that was the kind of joke.
That one took me a second.
Only 2 seconds.
Oh my god.
Um, so I tried hard to impress them, but I I just didn't want to be a guy or a doctor or a lawyer. And I tried to do business. That's what they wanted. Okay, like if you can't do medical, then go into business school. So I majored in economics. I worked at a bank.
I did
Hated it.
too.
Oh, did you?
Mhm. I also hated it.
So so boring. And I hated how I had to dress, and I just didn't fit in.
Mhm.
And so I left that, went to design school, did like web design, branding, marketing, because I had this like artistic side that I want to explore. And I thought I'd be like a like graphic designer long like for life. I dabbled in that, and then got into marketing for a range of companies. And thank goodness, because I'm using all that now to kind of like support what I do. It's
Mhm.
getting people to do that for me.
That
Yeah.
is that is a big thing amongst creatives, and I know a lot of our performer friends, it's now that we've had our hand at producing shows, like, asking for a bio from one performer is like pulling teeth. And I've been that performer, I know how it feels
Oh,
to be like, ah, fuck, I gotta write a bio, and it's the smallest thing. It's a paragraph, and it's a paragraph list, and it's still really hard for people in the creative field to market themselves. And so, as a professional and as somebody that has had to advocate for yourself in this way this entire time, and has had, like, lucky you, you have the knowledge to like back yourself up. That's amazing. Do you have any creative or tips or anything for our creatives out there that maybe don't know how to do this at all?
mm. I think social media it's free. It's great for your advertising needs. Promote it there. Try to get a following by connecting with people. Don't buy followers. You'll be found out, and it's just not good for you at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, get on social media and just crank out. Instagram is just changing its ways. You don't have to be aesthetically pleasing. You don't have to spend hard-earned dollars on the best photos. Take it with your iPhone, have your friend do it. Put something relatable that's educational or inspiring or entertaining. Those are the three things you want to put up on Instagram, or Facebook. Facebook's for old people. I try not to really go there anymore.
We're out.
Yeah, it's really just like keeping in touch with like whoever else is like living right now.
Yeah.
um yeah, just put it out there. I use it. Social media's out there. I mean, everyone's just looking at their phone all day, so they might as well look at your page and what you're there to offer, right?
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, the social media thing is, JB and I were immediately like, we have no money to put behind this at all. We didn't have starting capital. Like, that's not how we started our business. So social media was immediately like, it's free, and we just have to bite the fucking bullet and do the posts and
Yeah,
try to
Mhm.
figure it out. And that's like the hardest part, is like looking at a blank page or a blank post and just being like, what do I have to
yeah,
say?
yeah.
And finding the confidence in ourselves to be like, hey, what you have to say means something. And if it doesn't mean something to somebody, well, then fine, it doesn't, but you'll reach someone. You're never alone.
And if you don't put it out there, you won't know. And then that person
Mhm.
who is thinking the same thing will never see your post, and they'll feel alone, Like my
Hmm.
whole thing about my journey in parenting is like, I know a lot of women and mothers, they feel isolated because, it's a different life, a lot of my friends dropped me because they're like, well, we have nothing in common anymore, or you're too busy. But uh, and then early stages of parenthood, you're always like, you're looking at your baby, you're a toddler, and you're not talking to anyone, you feel lonely. It's just a way to kind of connect with mothers, women who feel lonely, and they feel like they're struggling because they have to be the perfect mother or the perfect parent. And I all like 90% of my reels are all about me struggling day to day. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
hopefully that like resonates with people.
Yeah, I remember when we first met you, or first introduced to you by another fantastic comedian, Vicky. You were running a comedy show for moms that they could bring their babies to in Brooklyn, which
Uh,
is it was great. It was like an outlet for you, a place to meet people, a place for mothers to be able to get out and find community and not feel so alone in that way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was at a little book store called Word in Greenpoint, and it ran for 2 years. And dads, moms, caregivers were there. It was called BYOB, Bring Your Own Baby, and it was just so cute. Like I just wanted to provide a supportive, safe space for new parents, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that. Not that I'm a parent, but on behalf of parents and people who care.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we've got parents we
Yeah.
love that
Absolutely.
will let us speak on their behalf. Thank you.
Yeah, I am going to just change gears right here. And we are going to dive into
Oh, another
game
one.
time. Yes, we love a good game. So we have made one just for you, Alice. We made a game just for you. You make smart, funny, insightful, relatable content for Scary Mommy, and you make it seem easy. And we know it's not. You put so much work in, but you make this content for Scary Mommy. So I have put together a short quiz about actually scary mommies from recent history and fiction.
Oh my
Are
god.
you ready to play?
Oh, I love your games, you girls.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I feel like I'm feeling a mixed response, but let me tell you.
I'm nervous at the same time, but you guys are so professional. And I don't want to lose.
Well, you're not competing against anyone, so there is no win or loss. It is all just for fun. And Jana has not seen any of these questions. She doesn't know the content either. So if you want to team up, if you want to talk it out, she's got your back. I am the quiz tricks.
The
Wizard.
quiz tricks.
The
I
quiz
like
tricks.
that one. Yeah, that one's good.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Number one in your short quiz about scary mommies. Who was notoriously found not guilty of murdering her 2-year-old Kaylee in 2008 in Florida? A verdict that led to several states passing laws that made it a felony for a parent or legal guardian to fail to report a missing child.
I think I know, but I'm gonna let you take a stab.
Okay. I'm I think I kind of know,
I
Hmm.
think
but I
should we
probably don't. So I think
Talk
it's
it out.
okay. Let's talk it out. John,
okay.
I think it starts with a T. Am I wrong? Am I
Oh
off?
shit. I think it starts with a J.
I think
Last name starting with a B, perhaps.
okay. I think you should
A,
go first.
a little blonde girl. Did you say a year, Jamie?
No, I did. 2008 in Florida.
Oh,
You're thinking of the 90s
Oh,
I
in
you're
am.
Johnny
Colorado.
Benet.
Yes,
Benet.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about Jean Benet. Yes, I was. I was.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know
No,
if
this
I know
is
this answer.
the 2-year-old Kaylee. So I said the child's name in 2008 in Florida. It was big news. A young mother. Part of the story was that people were like, she was more interested in partying and being a young person than having a baby.
Oh,
And the kid was like last seen in mid June and not reported missing until mid July.
I don't remember this at
There
all.
is a T in the last name, is the
Okay.
closest that you've gotten as
Yeah.
far as letters that you've
I
mentioned.
I'm gonna go with Jonna. Do you know this person's name?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Mary Elizabeth Bennet.
Beautiful literary reference, but we were looking for Casey Anthony. Do you remember
Oh,
Casey Anthony?
yeah.
No. I missed this
Um,
entirely, which
Mm.
means I'm probably I
I
should maybe do more newsing.
I mean, there's a lot of news. You can't remember all the news, can't know all the news.
I didn't read in 2008.
Oh yeah, I forgot to read for the whole year of 2008. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, number two, we're going to jump over to fiction. Number two, what literary title character's scarily religious mother was played on film by Piper Laurie in 1976 and by Julianne Moore in the 2013 remake? What
Ooh,
literary title character, so that's what we're looking for, scarily religious mother was played on film in 1976 and again in 2013?
I feel like Shauna, you know this one.
Oh. I love your feelings. And I'm not one to ever tell someone their feelings are wrong, but in this instance, literary character, title character, and overly religious mom. I
They're
don't
all
know.
gonna
I don't
laugh at
know.
you.
They're
They're all
all
gonna laugh at
gonna laugh at
you.
you. I know that quote.
They're all gonna want.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Carrie, that's right. I kind of forgot about her mom being super religious. That's like a really big part of the plot.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I just remember Carrie. I didn't even
Yeah.
remember her mom.
Mhm.
No, no, I totally forgot about that religious bit. Yep. All
Yeah.
right.
You got it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
All right, number 3. This one is a multiple choice. And I actually just learned about this while I was researching this round. So, number 3.
Awesome.
Stephanie LaFontaine of Alaska was charged with 2 counts of infanticide in 2017, in part due to which of the following searches and results being found in her web history? A. Best ways to suffocate. B. 16 steps to kill someone and not get caught. C. How to commit the perfect murder.
Hmm. I don't.
Something,
I don't think it's C.
yeah, I don't think
It'd
it's
be
C.
pretty dumb to Google that.
I feel it's like dumb to Google any of these things,
Perfect way to
especially.
suffocate. I don't think that's. I mean, people can be like, I have a sexual fantasy. I'm not gonna murder anyone.
I like that train of thought, I
I
will
like,
say.
yep, yep. Um, what was A? I forgot what A was.
A was best ways to suffocate. B was 16 steps to kill someone and not get caught. What a listicle, huh? And then C was how to commit the perfect murder.
And we only get to pick one.
Would you like to pick more than one? Is
I
your gut
I'm
telling
I'm
you to?
going with A, and I wanna see what genre is gonna go with.
I I don't, you know what? You go with A, and half of my heart was is with you, and I'm gonna just say C, just in case this person is that person.
B
Like,
is better
just
than B though. B is just like you're just really dumb. 16 ways, like just one
oh
way.
my God, one way.
Yeah, why 16?
Just one essay, please. One short paragraph.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, the truth is that somebody did write the 16 steps article because all 3 of those were correct,
Ah, we had such a good instinct.
plus a few more equally incriminating search results. So, not only is this woman a baby murderer, but
Oh
she's
my
just dumb. She was
Oh
just
my
dumb. She didn't clear her web
God.
history.
Well,
And
I
that's
mean,
how
I
she
don't know
got justified.
what years was this? When was this?
2017
Oh shit. All right.
was when she
Wow.
was charged, and it was a 2017 and a 2015 incident.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Still 2015.
There.
We've had her for a while. You should know.
All right, moving on to the final
Okay.
question. Our
Okay.
final question in our scary mommies quiz. Kathleen Turner stars in what John Waters movie that IMDb summarizes as she's the perfect all American parent, a great cook and homemaker, a devoted recycler, and a woman who literally killed to keep her children happy? The John Waters movie starring Kathleen Turner as a murderous happy homemaker.
She murdered her husband, right?
Maybe. I haven't seen the movie in a while. She murders people on behalf of her children who were played by Matthew Lillard and Ricky Lake.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Jana
I
knows.
love Ricky Lake in a movie. I really do.
I have
Uh,
this.
you know this?
I don't know this. This
I
one's
don't know this. I don't know this.
and you call yourself a Ricky Lake fan?
I know. I just like I feel like I've even seen the movie, which is like the fucked up part. Like what she's saying, I was like, kind of sounds like I've seen it, but I'm gonna be real with all of you. I'm a stoner. I've watched every movie that I've ever seen, probably as a stoner, and not all the details stick.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
want to watch this movie now because I
I know.
love Kathleen Turner.
Yeah,
And
and
But
John
fuck Ricky Lake.
Waters.
yeah. Oh yeah, and John Waters. I'm
Okay, tell us, what is it?
Serial Mom. Serial
Oh,
Mom? Have you heard of
no, I've
Serial
never
Mom?
seen
Oh,
Serial Mom.
really? Oh,
No.
it's a good campy mid-90s John Waters murder romp.
I'm gonna watch
Murder.
that on my
If I'm watching a murderous mom, it is Drop Dead Gorgeous, like every time. Do you know that movie, Alice?
no,
Oh my God.
I need to put that on my list.
You
It's
can't
a good
stream
one.
it. It's a cult
Mm.
classic that they won't put
What?
on any streaming. So it's like you literally have to buy the DVD. And I will tell you right now, if you buy it, you won't regret it. It's the
Are
best
you
movie ever made.
are you selling the DVDs?
No, dude, actually,
Aha!
I am down. I usually have two copies at all times, but both of them have been destroyed.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, well, that was a treat. Thank you, Jamie, for putting that together, and thank you,
Yes.
Alice, for having a little fun with us. And we appreciate you playing.
Yeah, I know so much. I feel so dumb.
Eh,
Oh, those were not like intelligence test questions by any stretch of the
nope. The
imagination.
fact that murderous mothers aren't taking up space in my brain is perfectly okay with me. I am
Mhm.
okay not knowing the information that we just
Mhm.
learned, and that's fine.
Yes. Alice, will you stick around for our Be a Feminist segment?
I would love to.
Yay! Up next, a word from our sponsor, Broadly Entertaining's 5th anniversary discount offer.
Broadly Entertaining turns 5 this year, and we want to celebrate with you, no matter where you are.
In honor of this milestone, we're offering 5% off every virtual event for the rest of 2022. Use code B5, that's B, E, and the number 5 to save on your next booking today.
Choose from a list of uniquely fun games and workshop options, perfect for everything from company team building to Nana's 90th. We plan and customize everything so you can party and connect with your crew.
Who knew when we started 5 years ago that we would get incredibly good at planning and hosting virtual events? Hire us from anywhere and join the dozens of happy customers leaving 5-star reviews.
Contact Broadly Entertaining today with the code B5, that's BE and the number 5, to save on your next virtual booking today. Now that we've promoted ourselves, it's time to promote other women in what may be the most consistent thing that we've got going on right now, our Be a Feminist shout out.
That's the theme music.
That's the theme. I will be kicking it off this month with Lizzo's new record. Oh my God. If you have not listened to Lizzo's new record, you must maybe pause this podcast for a second and go listen to that record. If not, the whole record, just Everybody's Gay, because that is my favorite track on the record right now. It has been an amazing journey to get to this record. I don't know if there are big Lizzo fans listening right now, but I am one. And the record was much anticipated. She eked things out. We all heard the it's about damn time in a minute. I'm gonna need a sentimental. We all were listening to that on the socials for very many months and trying to learn the dance and do the whole thing. But she also released this one track that was just her talking to her fans, being like, hey, this is taking us a while. I have 100+ songs that I am sifting through that I've written, trying to find the exact perfect ones just for you. And it was a lovely message that she gave to all of us waiting for her record to come out. And I just love her and her vibe and the way she does things. I also want to give a shout out to the fact that she won Video for Good award. The Video for Good award at the VMAs is given annually to musicians who, quote, push us to be better to ourselves and nicer to each other. And if you are a fan of hers, you know that she is very much deserving of that award. She wanted to, in her acceptance speech, she talked about the importance of voting. And she said, remember when you're, this is a quote from her, remember when you're voting for your favorite artists, vote to change some of those laws that are oppressing us. And agreed, and love you, Lizzo. And fuck your haters. I know that you feel the same way. She is a queen and she's dealing with all that hate in a great way. She just doesn't say anything because she knows she's winning.
Yes. Amazing.
Perfect.
Alice, what do you want to tell us for our Be a Feminist segment?
Oh, I want to say that I am a little more in tune with being a feminist once I became a parent to one boy, and now I have two boys. I want to make sure what I'm doing, what they're seeing, what I'm exposing them to, um, they they will hopefully not grow up to be assholes. And I want to make sure that also like the gender norms, like like I see moms with girls are like, oh, we're gonna go pick out a dress and we're gonna get our nails done. I'm like, well, why can't I do that? Um, so I've
You
asked my
can.
boys, yeah, I'm like, do
Mm-hmm.
you want to wear a dress? And they flat out said no. So I'm like, okay, then who wants to get nails done with me? And both of them wanted to. So
Mm-hmm.
I took them to the salon. Well, I took the youngest one to the salon first because I can only handle one kid at a time. And the little one wanted gold and silver sparkly nails, and he loved the experience. And then the older one, who is 8, got a little jealous, and he's like, "Well, I want my nails done." And my friend Liam, he's a boy, also had his done, and they were green, so I want mine done too. And I love that, and I just want to be careful with like who he talks to, like in terms of like our family and relatives, because my mom is old fashioned, like she's the type of person who'd be like, why are you coloring his nails, my only hope is the next generation. They're gonna have to fix their fuck ups, but be kinder people, I hope. And I just want that from the kids. I just want them to be kind and treat everybody with equal dignity and respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, raise little feminists. Love that. So I am going to shout out now. My Be a Feminist for this month is the Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund, which is an abortion fund. You know, I can't shout out abortion funds enough. But also, as you probably know, there has been a water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. Um, the week that we're recording, I believe that running water came back to the city, but I don't know if it's potable. So, Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund is taking the donations that they're getting at the moment. And in addition to continuing to support reproductive access for those being shut out of that, they are providing clean water, drinking water, water to brush your teeth, water to shower, water to, I don't know, do you have a bidet? Maybe that's a little too fancy, but we need clean water. These are important
Mhm.
things. And, it's just another example of an abortion fund being in a community and providing for people that are not being provided for by the systemic infrastructure that we are currently living under. So, Mississippi Reproductive Freedom Fund, if you can only give them $1, that dollar is going to get a couple bottles of water. If you can give them 5, great. Can you give them 50, 400? If you have it to spare, that is a way that you can make a difference in our world right now.
Yes. Thank you for always being a great resource. If anything, Broadly Entertaining likes to be a resource for folks that don't know how to fucking help, and that's a way. So thank you for doing the research and the head work that it takes to be that resource for people. Alice, thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your feminist perspective as well as your mommy perspective, as well as just a nice little extra glimpse into your childhood and who you are, and letting us get to know you in this very personal way that's very public at the same time.
Much, girls. I love Broadly Entertaining. You guys are always so fun and so informative, and you're always doing something good. So, thank you for having me. It was probably the most fun podcast I've been on.
Aw,
Oh, thanks.
that's
Cry,
like
damn it, cry.
that was the sweetest thing. Thank you. That means a lot to us. Thank you so much, Alice.
I love you both.
Love you back. We'll
Mwah.
see you very soon. We appreciate you taking the time to do this, and hopefully, we'll see you in the face soon.
Hopefully.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Bye, Alice.
Bye.
Thanks again to Alice Chan for joining us and to all of you for listening. Check the show notes for links and a transcript of this episode or more information on broadly entertaining events and offerings mentioned in today's show.
The Broadly Entertaining podcast is written and produced by Jonna DeGesso and Jamie Rossler of Broadly Entertaining.
I compose and perform all of the theme music and segue songs, plus I manage sound mixing and audio editing.
I put together the episode outline, transcript, and video version for YouTube when applicable.
If you like what we do, please rate, review, and follow us in your podcast feed. Tell a friend. Word of mouth is priceless, especially for a small business like ours.
And if you really like what we do, Venmo a tip to Broadly Entertaining or click the support button at anchor.fm/Broadly Entertaining. And of course, you can always hire us to host or plan your next celebration.
We're based in New York State, Central Texas, or anywhere you've got an internet connection. You can always find out more at broadlyentertaining.com or follow us on Instagram at, you guessed it, Broadly Entertaining.
Thanks for joining us, Broads. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
All recorded. Okay.